Son whose mom was adopted finds shocking truth years later. Can a movie really change your life? One 2018 documentary impacted a New Jersey woman more than she thought possible. Once she sensed a personal attachment to the story. Unable to shake the film's message from her head, she and her son Andrew pursued a mystery about her own life. A shocking revelation about her past soon emerged, and they both had to wonder if they were doing the right thing. Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos. Michelle Mordkoff had always known that she was adopted. Her parents had told her in detail about how they went to pick her up from the agency and how happy they were to finally bring her home. However, on a summer's morning in July 2018, Michelle was browsing her phone on her way to work when she scrolled past an article describing a new movie that had just come out. The story made her wonder about her past. The docudrama, Three Identical Strangers, told the story of three young men who, during their time in college, discovered that they were all brothers, separated by their adoption agency. They'd been raised without any knowledge of each other. These triplets' adoptive parents hadn't even known about the other brother's existence. Apparently, the adoption agency, Louise Wise Services, had secretly kept them apart for all their lives. But why? The triplets, the movie revealed, were unknowingly part of an experiment by the late psychologist Dr. Peter Neubauer, who wanted to study the effects that different economic status, locations, and other major life factors would have on the same DNA. When Michelle read all about the movie, the triplets, the agency, and the experiment, her heart began to race. She'd been adopted from that agency, and her year of birth in the early 60s was close to that of the triplets. Wondering if she had any siblings whose existence had been hidden from her, Michelle contacted journalist Lisa Belkin, who had previously investigated the obscure agency. With Belkin's help, Michelle took a DNA test to find any possible mystery relatives out in the world. She anxiously waited a few weeks before the agency test results were finished. The genetics company had connected her to someone with a full DNA match, meaning they were an immediate family member. That was sibling territory. But there was no picture or full name to be found, only some initials, AK. Driven by an overpowering sense of curiosity, Michelle jumped on Facebook and searched for Kyle Cantor, a name that had come up in her family tree. She searched through his friends for hours and then hit the jackpot. There on her computer screen was the name in bold letters, Allison Rodnan Cantor, from Calabasas, California, all the way on the other side of the country. Her initials matched the DNA profile, but her profile picture, shown here, struck Michelle the most. "I saw myself in her face," said Michelle in her interview. "I then checked her birthday and it was May 12, 1964. It was the same date as her own. I just lost my footing and dropped to the floor." "It's crazy," said Michelle's son Andrew about his mother's discovery. "I knew she was adopted, but hearing the word twin is just a whole other thing. It makes her a different person with a different background and a whole other family out there." Of course, just knowing she had a twin wasn't enough. So on August 12th, Michelle and Allison were finally going to meet face-to-face. Lisa Belkin documented the unbelievable event. "I feel like it's my birthday," Michelle said the day of. At a hotel in New York City, Michelle and Andrew waited anxiously for her twin sister to walk into the door, not knowing what to expect or how they'd feel about each other. Finally, Allison walked through the door. Despite having never met, sharing stories, or seeing each other before, the women clicked with each other instantly. From their physical features to their hair and clothes, nobody would doubt for a second that they were twins. They were sisters. After comparing their appearances, Michelle and Allison fell quiet for a moment, overwhelmed by each other's presence. "We don't even know what to say to each other," Allison laughed. "But it's a good thing," Michelle added. Though at first they kept their conversation light, they soon posed the question on everyone's mind. What about their birth parents? Michelle was adopted at 5 months old on October 14th and Allison just 2 days later. "That's so messed up," Michelle sighed. "I keep thinking, how could the adoption agency do this to people?" Allison said. "They were playing with fate. I don't understand it," Michelle agreed. "I know, they completely screwed us over. We could have been twins." Still, the women planned to make up for lost time. "I can't wait to get to know her," Michelle said. "Other than the birth of my children, this is the best day of my life." Allison echoed the sentiment. "It still feels almost unreal. but after today, I know it's true. Word of the twins' reunion made it back to Tim Wardle, the filmmaker behind 3 Identical Strangers. I've been struck by how instructive, magical, and moving genetic reunions can be, he said. He continued, this isn't to denigrate non-genetic relationships, which can also be wonderful, but there's something extraordinary and almost transcendent about observing the interaction between 2 people who have never met before but share the same DNA. So far, Michelle and Allison are the only twins who have found each other due to 3 Identical Strangers, but the investigations into Louise Wise's history aren't over yet. In fact, authorities are still questioning how the 3 long-lost brothers from the film managed to reconnect and how they dealt with the consequences. Please share this story with your friends and family.